pissed off all the local boys and your back's against the sea. The cops all know your number, the bars all know your name. After 6 straight months of drinking, boy, you ain't never gonna be the same. Well, I ain't seen the sunshine since I can't remember when. I may not know where I'm going, but I sure know where I've been.
Episode 131.
Well, a good day to you, wherever you are.
It's the afternoon now, technically.
Yeah, but it depends when people are listening. They might not be listening in the afternoon. They might be listening in the morning.
True.
Right?
Good day.
Good day to you.
Good day to you.
Welcome.
Many blessings of the day.
Blessings of the day to you and yours. Happy Thanksgiving.
Giving her.
For everyone, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. For our Canadian friends, hope that you had a good Thursday, like we talked about.
Hope Thursday was as good as it could be.
Yeah. Welcome to episode 131 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. My name is Ted Stovin. He is Wacey Anderson. As always, you can find us on all the social medias, the Twitters, the Instagrams, the TikToks, Facebook, MSN Messenger.
You name it, you can find it.
What else do you got, Wace?
We got, I don't even know.
LinkedIn,
Twitter,
MySpace.
TikTok, MySpace, Nexopia.
Yeah, all that
You
stuff.
name it, we
Yeah.
got it. We're all over it.
Not plenty of fish anymore. No.
But that's where you find us.
Yeah, you find us on the...
So we're on the road. This is another edition of our roadcast.
Yeah.
It's the latest time. We haven't done this for a while, so it's gonna be it's good to be back in the truck recording a top and bottom of the show.
Yeah, last time we did this, I think we're on the way back from Saskatoon
With our pal Brinson James.
Yeah. Yeah, we were it was with him and there was somebody else in the truck, wasn't there? Or was it just us three?
This is us three, man.
It was a good a fun show.
It was a good one. Good one for sure.
So, anyways, like we said, we're on the road and we're on our way. That time we're coming back from Saskatoon, going back to Calgary. This time we're headed south from Lethbridge on the way to Las Vegas for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo.
Ooh, baby.
Got a truckload of shit. And we're southbound and down. The Rocky Mountains are on our right side currently. Prairie's on the left. And
good job,
we're
man.
in what? We're in Corb Lund country. Yeah, we're just past his home in Lethbridge. I'm going to pick up some stuff for him, save him some shipping in Great Falls. Got a little detour to make when we get to Great Falls. But, an hour and 22 minutes from the border. And, Wace, we've got a proud new sponsor for this episode only.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been waiting for this. We got to thank our friends Kyle Wilson, as well as Glenna Cole, Harley and Jonathan Cole's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's part of Range Fuel Jerky Co., as well as Tyler Thompson with the referral, connecting us with the crew and getting it all hooked up.
He's their big brand rep, that guy.
Yeah.
He rides for the brand.
He's riding for... He's eating the jerky for the brand.
Eating the jerky for the brand.
So I've seen this in my house for since the CFR, and I haven't had any of it yet.
Hell yeah!
And we're gonna try it out.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live taste test of the Range Fuel Jerky. What do we got here?
We got a couple sticks.
We got the honey garlic flavor.
Yeah, made with real honey.
It's real honey. Everything's all natural ingredients. Grass-fed beef. 23 grams of protein per pack. So if you're out on the range or you're on the road and you need a snack, Range Fuel's got you covered.
Kyle, we had a little chat with Kyle Wilson here before we did the show, and he said a number of things with the jerky. Just pack me the whole stick.
Non-GMO.
I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
Gluten-free.
Did you wash your hands lately?
No hormones or steroids. Pretty much everything you want in the beef.
Man, so it's like a pepperoni stick, but it's called jerky. So it's got a nice jerky smell. I've never smelled pepperoni like this before. Have you?
So one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah, one bite. Okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god, this is so good.
Wow.
This is perfect timing because I'm getting around the time when I need a snack.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I wasn't quite hangry, but I was hungry.
And with 23 grams of protein per pack. 24 grams of protein per pack.
Yeah, 12
we
grams
ain't going to be hungry after this. I tell you what. So I'm a big fan of this. Nice work.
Man,
Our friends
it
at
is-
Range Fuel Jerky. It's
like-
great.
It's like it's jerky, but in stick form.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Wow, it's extremely dense. It's really nice taste, really nice smoke flavor. And there's only like a few ingredients in this stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what does it
We
say
got-
on the back ways?
Ground beef, sugars, curing salt, granulated garlic, sodium nitrate. So about as simple as you can get on some beef jerky stuff.
Dang.
That's one thing. But other jerky brands that you can get, they're really packed full of sugars and shit you don't want.
Yeah,
But our friends at Range Fuel, they got it sorted out.
and
Sweetened with real honey.
yeah, with honey being the sweetener.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
No, they did
Wow.
it. Knocked it out of the park.
Wow.
So if you're looking for, Kyle even told us right from his mouth, he has buddies who usually go out packing, hunting, or ranching for the day. They throw a couple of Range Fuel sticks in the bag, and they're
Dang.
covered till at least past lunchtime. So
That's awesome.
if you're looking for a
Holy.
deadly snack,
That
check out
was
friends at
great,
Range
man.
Fuel.
So we got like what do we got? We got 3 sticks left.
I'm about to muck a whole stick.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a whole stick in me here before the border. We gotta eat all our Canadian contraband before we cross the border. You can't eat spitting jerky everywhere. Turns out it's hard to do a taste test on a podcast when I'm trying to talk.
It was so good.
What? Yeah. So, wow. Okay. So Range Fuel Jerky at rangefueljerky.com. Check them out. You can order online if you're in Alberta. It's not federally inspected yet. That is on the horizon, but
Yeah.
it's made with 100% grass-fed Alberta beef, like Wacey said. Grass-fed, no hormones or steroids. It's gluten-free, non-GMO. All natural, no artificial fillers or preservatives. And you can get it in a number of stores, too, actually.
Yeah, if you're in Alberta, in the Calgary area,
Yeah.
check them out. They're at a bunch of gas stations, some retail locations, so you can find or check them out online and order yourself some Range Fuel right to your door.
Right to your door. You can get it ordered right in.
Hell
Yeah, but like Cowboy Country in Nanton, Frontier Western Store in Claresholm, a couple of the gas stations around, they're stocking it now in the stores as well, so they're working on expanding that network, and
This shit's awesome.
dang, very good. So,
Hell yeah.
that's thank you to our friends from Range Fuel Jerky for hooking us
Loving
up
it.
this show.
Just keeping us going. This is getting us to America.
It's getting us to America. So, like we said, going to Vegas, booth 721 at Stetson Country Christmas. We are. What are we doing? We're on the way down,
We're slinging it.
slinging some stuff.
We're there. It's our maiden voyage on the trade show side,
Yeah,
doing a booth at the NFR. So
got some of our friends from the U.S. helping us out as well.
yeah, we got a whole crew. So we're gonna be there. We'll be bouncing around doing some other events and stuff too. So
Yeah, we're bringing our cutouts. If
we
you
have
want
the
to do a
cutouts with
picture.
us. So if you're in the area and you want to come say hi to us, come check it out. Get yourself some Cowboy Shit merch before
Before Christmas.
Christmas.
Going to be some hot deals on.
Hot deals.
And if you're not going to Vegas, you can order online. We're going to be shipping our online orders a little bit later. We're not going to get to ship them all till we're back, depending on what you get. There's some stuff still in Airdrie, not a full assortment anymore, so you're kind of playing roulette on your order if you're going to get it or not right now, but we're going to ship everything as soon as we get back. We'll be back about December 13th, 14th. So we'll get everything shipped out that Wednesday, all those customer orders. I'll stay up all night if I have to get them out that day so that we make sure we get your stuff in time for Christmas. And in Canada, that'll be enough time. In the U.S., it'll probably be close. If we got to upgrade some shipping, we might do that too to make sure you get it. But yeah, thanks for the support all the way so far. But if you can't, order online. And if you're, you got to support your Canadian and your American retailers. We've got our stuff in a lot of stores all the way around North America now, so get yourself outfitted for Christmas.
Hell yeah.
So, Wace, what else do we got on the top side of the show?
What else do we got?
Oh, the jerky? Man, yeah, Wace, what's your jerky rating on that?
Jerky
We didn't
rating?
do that.
Ooh, man.
Like if we were doing our pizza rating, like
I'm gonna say a 9.2.
9.2. What's your criteria and what's your?
It's gonna be flavor. It's gonna be texture.
Yep.
And it's gonna be like how like hard to chew it is or not. Like if it takes
Yeah.
me like 25 minutes to chew through a piece of jerky, like I'm not pumped about that.
Or if it's too hard,
And then
like-
also the
Hey.
next one would be ingredients are a big factor as well.
yeah, you don't want junk.
Yeah, I don't want a bunch of junk. So
It's got to be good.
9.2 on the scale. Very good. It's super soft. It's kind of of a pepperoni stick style, which is very cool.
Yeah, that's new to me.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan. I'll definitely be
9.2.
munching some Range Fuel when a guy needs it.
I think the standard, and I think that a lot of our friends out on the road can say the standard for jerky is Provost, the Provost Packers.
Ooh, man, those little
Right?
jerky bites are so good.
Yeah, so I think if Provost is the standard, Range Fuel is a new product, though, because you got the jerky bites, or you got the jerky, or you got...
Yeah.
And the Provost stuff is really... you don't find it very many places. It's pretty, like, niche in that area. Like, basically, you only get it from the Packers or, like, what?
Yeah.
One store in town. So, if that's the standard 10 out of 10 jerky, I've got to say, like, on the ratings that I've seen so far, like, I got to say, like, 9.5, maybe even higher.
Shit, son.
Like, this is... I'm not just blowing smoke here, people. Like, this is some good, high-quality shit.
Hell yeah, brother.
So, if you...
There you have it.
So, make sure you pick up a pack sometime. It's also a great stocking stuffer.
Oh,
Great
wow. What an
operating
idea,
product.
Storm. Stocking
Well
stuffer.
done, Storm. From the driver's seat,
Dang.
she passes out a huge boost there. So, Storm's basically just driving us to Vegas. That's what's going on.
So-
Wacey and I are just going to sit in the back seat. Yeah, she's going to take pictures of us. She's going to be our Instagram girlfriend
She's
the
back.
whole week. But I got to take pictures of her outfits too, so I will. She can
We got
show
some
it
cool
off.
stuff planned when we're in Vegas, too. We're going
Yeah.
to go see our pal George.
Yeah, George Strait.
I'm going to
Ever heard of
cry openly
Ah,
in the stands.
So we were talking with Corb the other day. I was texting him. I don't know what's going on. Like just planning Vegas and talking about how it's going to be hell because it's so long and like it's Vegas and you drink a lot and it's gambling.
You always
and
just find
smoke
your way
there
into
and
some
just-
type of trouble, no matter what
just
you
trouble
do.
in Vegas. Like there's no way to get around it.
Yeah.
So he was like, I want to go see George Strait in Vegas. Like he's probably not going to be doing that for a lot longer. Like I don't know what age George Strait is, but he's like, is he 70 or
He's
is
got to
he
be in his
60?
70s for sure.
Is he?
I think so.
We need to look that up. I'm curious.
But
what,
she's 71.
71. What's your guess? I think he's like between 68 and 72, but I really don't know.
What's you got? You got to guess a number, bro.
69. 70 on the dot. Oh wow.
Ooh, Price is Right rules.
I win.
You win. Shit.
70 years old. So really, right? Like as an entertainer, 70's probably getting up there to do like
We look at guys like Elton John and those three, like they're winding down as well, and they're about the same age bracket.
yeah.
So
So
not many opportunities left to see the King.
So like Corb said, I don't know when I'll get to do this again. So me and my, I don't know what, but I guess Merry Christmas to Wacey and Storm and we're going to go to see George Strait in Vegas with Corb. So that'll
Very
be
cool.
a pretty epic night. And then we're going to go to the football game on Sunday. Then I might go to UFC fight. We're going to go to the rodeo a little bit. Going to be in the booth hanging out a little bit too, doing a couple shows down there. We're going to see if we can track down Donnie Gay. That's one goal.
That'd
to
be
try
really
and get
cool.
Donnie Gay on
Very
the show.
cool. Very cool. Very cool.
And then you know who else I wouldn't mind getting on the show is Tough Hedeman. If we can get
Tough Hedeman.
if we can get
Cody
round up
Johnson
Tough.
would be cool.
Yeah, I
Better
don't know.
access there.
Forey Smith, we've kind of
Corey
put some feelers out
Smith.
on that.
Yeah, he's been on the radar, so
I don't know who we'll run into and whatnot down there for sure, but
you never know.
we'll see. But anyways, that'll be the top of the show for now, and we'll check in a little bit later, maybe a little further south when we get through the passes, a little closer down there. Maybe tomorrow we'll check in with another part of the show, and we'll catch up in a bit. So anyways, thanks again to our sponsors the past few months, and once again, Range Fuel Jerky. Check them out, rangefueljerky.com. Check them out. So thanks for tuning in. We will we'll catch
you
up
next
with
time.
y'all.
Catch you down the road.
Catch up with you all in a little bit here. Thanks to our guest this week, Janie Johnson, for being on the show. We'll interview with her is up next. All right.
Well, a midnight headlight blind you on a rainy night. Keep straight up ahead, slow me down, making no time. But I gotta keep rolling. Those are windshield wipers slapping out a tempo, keeping perfect rhythm with the song on the radio. But I gotta keep rolling. Ooh, I'm driving my life away, looking for a better way for me.
Well, we're back at episode 131 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. I'm Ted. He's Wacey. And we have our guest this week. She's just off American Thanksgiving, or as we call it in Canada, just Thursday.
Just Thursday.
So she's come to us from her place just outside of Canyon, Texas. She's on air talent and professional barrel racer, Janie Johnson. Thanks for joining us, Janie. Appreciate you being here today.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you. And it was a great Thursday.
It was a great
That's one of Ted's top 5 best intros into the podcast so far.
We just call it a Thursday. Well, I'll say from America, we're thankful for you guys. We're thankful for Cowboy Shit.
Well, thanks for that, Janie. We appreciate that. We thanks for wearing the stuff. Look at that.
Right into the brand.
Here. On theme.
On theme.
I love this sweatshirt.
Did the shirt that I gave Jake fit or not quite? Or did you just steal it?
I just stole it. They're really soft. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's made with bits
The
of real
t-shirts are
cotton.
really nice.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. Good quality merch. Little plug right there.
Hey, there we go. We and actually, so we just got word, Janie, we're going to be in Vegas too, officially now. Well, I don't even have the paperwork from the border yet, but if they let us across the border, we're going to be at the Rio in booth 721, Wacey. That's where we're at. So at the Rio. So our
10 days. Come find us.
11 days actually. Sorry, I hope we got a calendar. Yeah, they're still open on Sunday. So yeah, so we're gonna go do that. So Janie, you said you're so Thanksgiving and NFR is depending on the way the calendar works, sometimes it's a little tighter of Thanksgiving, but you're heading over there on Monday.
Yeah, I'm flying out of Amarillo on Monday. Should get there. I think we land in time to go to Mike Servy's winning that like PRCA Legends Award. We're gonna go to that. Then back numbers Tuesday, then the PRCA banquets Wednesday, then round 1 Thursday. We just kick it off. So it's here. None of us are ready, but it's here.
Tell us what you got on the go there this year. You in 2020 in was it round 4? You ended up was Joe, tell me if I'm wrong, but was Joe Beaver calling the barrel racing and then somebody was like, why do we have Joe calling the barrel racing? Janie's right here. She can do.
That was us calling it. That was us saying why.
Oh, didn't we put it on Twitter?
Yeah, no, we know. We're doing Instagram lives, and we're like, why is there not somebody better commentating the barrel racing? And the
no
next
offense
day,
to Joe. It's not
no
his
offense
passion.
to Joe. No, yeah, this is net. No offense to Joe, but then the next day, Janie was on air. Calling it,
randomly at round
the Cowboy Shit boys.
Was it always the plan for you to just like randomly show up at round 4? I'm like, yeah, it was like a surprise. No, I got a text from my producer because I was hosting the tailgate show like over at Stockyards, which is like 40 minutes from Arlington.
Oh yeah,
with traffic.
Without traffic, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm in the show, and the show like backs up to the rodeo, and I got a text, and it was like, please be on standby to commentate the barrels. I was like,
I didn't do any homework.
I go, what does that even mean? And so I was like calling barrel racers in the car on the drive to Arlington. And then I texted him, my producer again. I'm like, am I going on? And he's like, I don't know yet. And I'm like, okay. He goes, just be ready. So I'm like standing over by Joe B at the roping box. And I go to Joe B. I'm like, hey, Joe B, am I doing the barrels? He's like, I have no idea. Text the producer again. I go, am I doing the barrels? And he's like, yeah, you better get up there. And I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. And Joe is a legend. He is the absolute greatest. I was watching old NFRs just last night with Joe. I mean, he talks on camera like he's talking to his best friend. Like he is so casual, so cool. And he actually knows a lot about the barrel race too. But I think a lot of people were just maybe wanting a female. They're wanting a woman to talk about the barrel race, about the women's barrel race. It's the only women's event happening like at the main NFR. And I think it needs to be a world champion, but they were all a little bit busy at round 4, you know?
Yeah. Well, so then talk about how it was and what that experience was like.
What's going through your mind when you find out? Yeah, when you find out. Like,
did you feel like you had enough homework done in 20 minutes?
I was so nervous. I was literally like shaking probably just because you want to do everybody justice and you want to say lots of things. But then whenever you get into it and you actually go there, you realize you have no time to say any of the things that you wanted to say because it goes so fast. I mean, 17 seconds, at least in Globe Life, you had more time because it was that huge arena. When you get to the Thomas and Mack and it's like 13 seconds, you're like, oh, there she goes. First barrel, second barrel. Oh, we're at the third. Okay, new leader. That's great. Unless the horse takes forever in the alleyway, you don't get to say much.
What is the format exactly? Like you're calling the run, and you have you have 20 seconds. Like you have like a sentence and a half almost. Like it's not really, like you said, really not that much.
I try to like really think of something specific, and I really like to talk about the horse. like exactly what horse they're on. Like Globe Life was really exciting because I feel like we had more horse changes at Globe Life than we've ever had, because it was that big arena. Horses were getting kind of tired, or horses weren't kind of loving the setup. And so every day they were on different horses. Even Haley Kinsel changed horses one day just to give Sister a break. And so it was exciting to like I texted each barrel racer, like, what horse are you going to be on? So it was fun to talk with the horse changes. Thomas and Mack was just unbelievable because it is kind of a unique setup. It's such a tiny arena. It's so easy to hit barrels. It's a lot like CFR. And like that world title race was unbelievable. You know, I think everybody went in thinking, oh, Haley Kinsel's got it in the bag, like she has for the last 3 years, even 4 years. She had a great NFR the first year she made it. And then with the Jordan Briggs thing mixed in there, and it was like all the ways around 10. It was so exciting. And I hope that I didn't get too excited on camera. But I want people to like feel the energy that I was feeling behind the bucket chutes watching that happen. But honestly, guys, you were there for it. Calgary Stampede, the barrel race, was the coolest, most exciting thing. I think I even just yipped and yahooed at one point in the middle of somebody's run.
Where'd you get to call that from?
So I would do the bareback interview from behind the chutes, and then I would walk over in front of the roping box.
Okay,
Nice.
gotcha.
So I was like right next to the alleyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think you mentioned something that I wanted to touch on a bit, is that you said you want to get something very specific in, because in your role, you're not just trying to put fluff and just stuff in there just to say something. Like having something specific about that lady or about her horse that provides insight that we might not know about otherwise, I think is a very important part of the broadcast. That's why that's why you're supposed to be in that position. I think that's why you elevated the broadcast. No offense to Joe, but you can get a bit more out of
There was a difference when you joined the
Right.
broadcast.
Well, Joe adds so much specifics to the tie-down roping, right? Because
Exactly.
he's
He knows it.
hanging out with those guys in the morning, and he's got so much specific stuff about whatever calf they have, how they're feeling that day. And so I try to do that. And the barrel racers have been really, really good to me. And they're all just really, really great. And they want me to share certain things, you know, like, oh, so-and-so trained this horse and I want to make sure they get credit. Or, you know, Donna Kay Rule when she was coming back from her hip surgery. And that was huge. Fans already loved Donna Kay, and they wanted to root for her even more since she'd been coming back from major surgery. That was exciting for me at Calgary. Or just, you know, barrel racers that weren't really chosen as the favorite necessarily and then dominate, like Cassie Mowry at Calgary. I think everybody always cheers for Cassie, but I think everybody had kind of picked Wenda from the beginning to win Calgary just because she dominated in her pool. And then Cassie comes in on this 7-year-old horse and just kicks butt and breaks records. And it was just so cool. And I'm a huge fan. So I try. Sometimes I don't have anything specific. Sometimes I just have to kind of pull something out, but I try to have something. You can tell I get excited talking about it. Now I'm getting pumped thinking about this year.
Well, so I kind of want to talk about this year at the finals a little bit. I want to get into your story as well, further along and the path you've taken to get to where you are at this point. But let's talk about the finals here quick, and who you liking, what are you thinking, what are the storylines coming in, you know, what are we looking at?
That's really general. I even have my magazine here just in case I had to like look up some stamps. Man,
I want to throw it out there. What's on your mind?
It's going to be so close in every single race. You know, I'm a little bit biased because I am in charge of doing the rough stock winner interviews for the rounds and then the barrel race. So I really hone in on those. But it's also fun because then I can watch the timed events from a perspective of just being a fan and just being excited to watch it without the pressure of having to figure out what I'm going to ask them. That's Amy's job. She can handle that. And so I don't know. There's just certain star players that I'm excited. I think we're going to see Haley Kinsel have an amazing NFR because, you know, last year she had a great NFR. It just wasn't the standout one we were used to seeing. Jordan had that. I'm excited to see that battle between the two of them again and even see if there's going to be another barrel racer like a Donna Kay who's second. Like I said, fans love her. And who doesn't? She's the nicest lady in the world. Someone who's kind of I don't want to call him a spoiler, but someone who hasn't won the world yet come in there and sweep it. Like in Emily. The saddle bronc, you know, I talk about the saddle bronc riding. I think everybody kind of wants to maybe see Sage Newman get that world title because he's just dominated all year. He rides amazing. But is it going to be a Wright again? Is it going to be Stetson or even Ryder? You know, they're close.
Is it going to be a Canadian? We got 6 of them down there.
Right? Is it going to be a Canadian? I mean, I would never ever count Zeke Thurston out of anything, especially after the Canadian finals that he had. I mean, Zeke Thurston could go in there and win round after round after round and win the world.
He's 110,000 back, so that's the only thing.
That's what I mean. He's going to have to win round after round after round.
Got to do it.
But it is possible. A look at Canadian finals. Going into Canadian finals, I didn't think Zeke was gonna win the war. I was gonna win it. I thought he's gonna have to have this amazing finals, and he did. So don't count him out. But
count that boy out.
I gotta say the bareback riding's a little bit closer than it has been in previous years. Hey, Tim had a surgery on his thumb. Was that right? So he was out for a lot of the season.
right after Cheyenne.
Yeah. So previously he's had a huge lead coming in different years. Where this year it's Cole's up by less than $1,500 over Jess, so it's tight.
Look at how close Casey Field is. He went to 26 rodeos. He's 5th in the world. He's literally like a go. He's a go around. He wins the first. He's number 1 again. I mean, pretty close. The other guys would have to not win anything. I mean, he could win 7 world titles. Casey Field could be a 7-time world champion. I mean, even when it was at 6, it was pretty mind-boggling. But now I just don't think anything's impossible for that guy. Jess Pope obviously was a standout. I think Cole Reiner is going to be in there, but I don't know. I don't think Cole's the type to crack under the pressure of going in number 1. That happens a lot, but the draw is going to play a huge part in that. Not to go back to the saddle bronc riding, but are you guys just so excited to see who's going to draw Get Smart in round 5 and round 10?
I hope it's Zeke.
I hope it's a Canadian.
I know. If it's Zeke, we're all going to cry. All the Canadians are going to cry. If it's
we need
Zeke,
that.
Get Smart, it's going to be so emotional.
Be very cool.
I got to say, too, I want to throw this in there that for those that don't know, Janie's dad, Clint Johnson, is a 4-time world champion. He won it in 1980 and then again in 87, 88, and 89. So 4-time world champ. And Janie, tell us a little bit about, like, we got to go back to the saddle bronc again as well as in the finals, but you came to Calgary for like how long when you were a kid, when your dad was a shoot boss up here?
Yeah, a couple of years growing up. And so it was kind of fun to go back to Calgary this year from a work perspective. We'd gone back as a family for kind of vacation before, but it kind of feels like home. And a lot of people, I'm not Canadian. I wish I was sometimes, but I'm not. And
you're getting closer with your husband now. You're part of the Commonwealth now with the Aussie.
But I was like, I don't know geographically closer, but Commonwealth, yeah.
Commonwealth, baby.
Yeah. Yes. Thinking of the Queen. But anyways, yeah, Calgary is unbelievable. I mean, it's right up there with me for NFR. It's like you guys probably feel the same way. It's kind of the same level for sure.
I'm glad it counts again now. That's a good part. Now, if it would only count for Canada in some way, it's kind of funny how that whole scenario is.
Right. I think that'll happen eventually, but I don't know. How can it count for NFR but not?
Maybe it should just be the Canadian finals if it's going to move.
Just could make it in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, why not? Change up the season.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. I think that'd be really nice. It's going to be good for whenever they go back to their 100,000. I don't think that's going to be too far off.
It should have been.
It's got to be. It should have been this year. Yeah, we got told it was supposed to be this year.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so we've done all around is done. Bull riding.
Bull riding. What about the 16th bull rider?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that all about?
What's the story? Did somebody do their maths wrong, or what happened?
I'm gonna political this just a little bit because I don't know that it's like, I don't think it's a secret, but obviously PRCA has ever sent out like anything that says, they just says unique and unusual circumstances. There was a bull riding event earlier in the year. There was some discrepancy on how the payout happened, and that never really did get resolved, and they didn't want to have to get lawyers involved. And so basically the decision they made, they weren't sure if that was right, and there wasn't really a clear rule in the rule book on what was the right decision. And so they ended up saying, hey, instead of us telling another bull rider in the top 15 that he's kicked out because we're not even sure if that's the right decision, we're going to let them both go.
Avoiding a lawsuit. That makes sense.
I don't want to say that that's the actual situation of
you're not the source of that. That's fair.
But I'm just saying that it has to do with the payout from an event that happened earlier in the summer. It's not an audit issue.
is it a ground money thing?
It is
Or
a ground money thing a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
That changes everything though.
That ground
Because
money
you
The
have-
ground
thing.
money rule changes everything for everybody all year, but it's going to change world title. It's going to change everything in NFR. It's going to be kind of crazy.
I think it sucks personally because I think it opens the window for cheating. Because if somebody could win all the money, they could sabotage everybody else and win all the money.
Or like if you, I don't
Got
know,
some
there's
bull
a lot of
ropes
different
up.
scenarios. I'd be interested to know if there would be a way to get the bull riders to vote. I mean, would they vote? Do bull riders want ground money or not? You might know that, Ted. I
They
don't
want
know.
it. I think they want the money in their
They
pocket.
want the
but
money.
It shouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah.
should count for the standings. I think
Yeah.
that's unnecessary.
Yeah, you should get the money in your pocket for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But there's some places I think like Calgary didn't even pay out the ground money. They kept it. So
Oh, did
like
they?
you got to pay. I think you got to pay the ground money out, but I don't think it needs to go to
Yeah.
the standings, which is how
Yeah,
it was
'cause-
originally.
I mean, think about it, guys. If one guy or even two guys win a round and they're the only two rides or the only ride, the guy's gonna win like 100,000.
Yeah, totally changes it.
It can
Which
change
isn't
the whole
fair.
landscape of it. Yeah.
Which isn't fair because that ride may or may not be that good. There's been a couple times where I remember one time
76 points one around.
Yeah,
Like not
I
too
think
long ago.
Corey Navarre was like 63 points one time and was the only guy to stay on in the rank pen, like maybe like 04 or something. And then it happened a couple years later in like 08, 09, somewhere in there. But like those guys win like back then it was like 50, 60, 70,000 for one ride. There was a 60-point ride, and should a 60-point ride winning the world? No, it should be 94 in the 10th round.
Well, just imagine this. You're like the 16th bull rider to get on and nobody has ridden, and you know that you just have to hold on, and you just happen to draw the least rank bull in the whole pin, and you're just gonna just manhandle just
J-Money
beat
drag it.
50 points. Yeah.
Or put a couple knot holds in because that's not a rule. So just rope up, right?
I hope not to change the subject, but I really hope that Cole Fisher has a stand at NFR. I think that guy's got a lot of talent, and I think that he deserves to be there. And I think, despite all the different things, a lot of people are questioning him. But if you go back to the event, the guy maybe does deserve to be there. And I hope that despite all the noise around him, he has a great NFR.
That's a very nice way to put
Because
it.
that's hard. Imagine going into NFR in that position and having all this noise around you, and everybody's asking you about it. Like he's a mature guy. He seems like a nice guy. He's very quiet, and I hope that he has a great NFR.
Who do you like in the bull riding overall? So we've got Stetson in first at 320,000, 100,000 back. Josh Frost almost, he's about 92,000. So it's Stetson's to lose. But what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to change so quickly because of the ground money. So I would never, ever, ever go against Stetson. If Stetson wins the world, I think he'll run away with it. But I kind of am pulling for Josh Frost a little bit.
Ooh.
I like Josh Frost. I think Josh Frost is, had such an amazing comeback story. Do you guys remember like a couple years ago when he got his stomach stepped on at Fort Worth? He lost like 50 pounds. They didn't know if he was ever even going to really function normally ever again. Well, 2020 was like his comeback year, and he's just gradually come back. And
he's kicked butt since he's been back. He's been doing so well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's number 2 in the world.
Even last year, he pushed Sage like to the brink, basically.
Yeah, he won the average last year. He's such a good guy. I think he rides awesome. I don't know. I'm always rooting for Stetson just because I think Stetson's the man. He's Superman in boots. But I don't know. Yeah. I would love to see like a head-to-head battle between the two of them.
It makes it a lot more fun to see the races. Like that was even like Zeke at the Canadian finals coming back. He won the last 3 rounds, like won them out to take the title. It makes it a lot more fun when there's a close race rather than somebody running away with it.
Yeah, I don't know that any race other than the team roping is really going to be somebody running away with it. I think Caleb and Junior are going to run away with it, but I'm sure that's terrible to say. I mean, they're amazing, those guys.
And so right now they're about, what would I say, 80,000 if I'm math right? Yeah, 80,000 ahead of Clay Tryon and Jake Long. So, and even bigger lead on the heel side. Jake's a little bit further back, about 14,000 behind. So you really think they're gonna just run away with it, eh? Because they've had some trouble at the finals before. Like Caleb only won. Did he not only win his first? Like it took him a while till he won that gold buckle.
Right. Well, they won their first one. Well, because Junior won the all around before, but they won their first team roping gold buckle together last year. I don't know why, and I shouldn't even say anything because, I'm not supposed to say things. But I have an opinion on it. I think those two are absolutely have so much respect to the other teams. They've broken every single season earnings record this year. And I love the dynamic of it because it says so much to me about like team dynamics. The two of them, they were like reserve world champion a couple of times. Like they could not get that world title. They ended up second and second and second. And finally, they're like, okay, obviously we can't win the world together. And they split up and went with different partners. Neither one of them had nearly the same amount of success as other partners. They did well, but not like they did when they were together. They get back together. First year back together, they win the world. Second year, break the earnings record for the regular season. I think they're going to win another world title. I think it's like a sports documentary in the making.
What makes those guys so much better?
I don't know. I think it's when, Junior, whenever he heals and he like really lays back on the horse. I think that dramatic effect,
Gets you people going.
A little quicker flies at times, maybe?
They don't break barriers either. Like the thing that's really cool, I mean, like Caleb doesn't break the barrier. What's really cool about them, very similar to Cole Reiner. I'm throwing a fun fact about Cole Reiner, comparing him to Caleb Jr., which is a weird comparison. They just place everywhere. Did you know that Cole Reiner went an entire season, an entire year, and only did not place at 4 rodeos? He placed at every rodeo except for 4.
How many did he go to? What was his rodeo count?
I think like 99.
Oh my gosh.
That's
95 for 99.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Now, don't quote me on that. I heard that. I haven't actually fact checked that with Reiner.
We have a lot of work to find that out.
Somebody told me he got a 99 head. But 99 head of horses, so that would be
so maybe 60 rodeos if you count all the headers. Yeah.
Right, yeah, but still, that's amazing. And Caleb and Junior are the same. They don't really mess up. They don't always win first, but they don't break the barrier. They don't really miss.
Which is a big factor with the average thing too, right? Like that's the one thing. Like you can go for the rounds, but extending out over 10 days and being consistent could get you that extra money in the
you don't have to win first every night. It pays a lot to win second. What is it, like 25 to win second?
Still a lot. It's a ton. What do you think in the tie down roping?
We can consult my magazine.
Yeah. I'm looking at the standings right now too. We got Chad Mayfield first, 203,000.
I'm biased and I feel bad because on my show we did like a road to the NFR show. And I said, like, hands down, it's going to be Caleb Schmidt, which I kind of feel bad ever saying, like, hands down, it's going to be this person.
He's done so well, though.
I don't know. People are like, how dare you say that? You don't know. And I'm like, no, I have no idea. Because every time I say who I think it's going to be, I'm usually wrong. Obviously, Chad Mayfield's got that huge lead, but I just feel like I've seen Caleb Schmidt just, like, come from all kinds of different positions, and nobody is as cool as that guy. Like, he just keeps his cool through everything. Like he doesn't get hyped, he doesn't get low, he's just this way all the time. He can handle the average. He's like the veteran. But I mean, Chad's kind of a veteran now, and Shane Hanshy's the veteran, and I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think?
Haven's already a world champion too. Of the top 5, there's 4 world champions. So I mean,
exactly.
That makes it tough. In the top 7, there's 5 of 7. You can never
count Shane out. He always seems to find a way to make shit happen.
Chad's got such a lead this year, but and I don't think he's going to have like a 2020 situation where he's kind of like, it's first NFR, he's number 1, and he's just kind of psyched himself out a little bit. I think he's past that.
You know who I think's somebody that is due for one at some point that's just been on the cusp a couple times is Corey Sullivan too. He's won a lot of these titles.
He's awesome.
I think
they're all awesome. That's what's hard.
Awesome. Yeah, that's the hard thing.
Everybody's so awesome.
And speaking of 6 Canadian bronc riders, there's what, 8 title ropers from Texas. That's one of the other.
What's in the water down there?
Well, they can rope year round. It's not 40 below in Texas in the winter, so that makes it a little.
That probably does help a lot. That does help. Man, 6 Canadian bronc riders. That is wild. Do you have a favorite Canadian bronc rider? Or is that
the Pierogi Bandit? Colby Wanchuk. I fucking love that kid. He's number 1.
Anybody talk to Wanchuk because I know that he kind of got hurt a little bit. Is he doing better?
He broke his shoulder.
Yeah, at the Bronx.
He broke his shoulder. Like it was
broken. Yeah, it was broken. Like he told me he didn't know it was broken. Like must have been like a very like hairline type thing. But yeah, he turns out he broke it. That's why he didn't ride the CFR.
Riding arm or
be good
free
to go
arm?
for the. I don't know that for sure.
Makes
I
a
can't
difference.
remember.
No, it's I think it's
Yeah.
a riding arm because you're gonna brace it down and keep it tucked in. Which is better than the free arm.
Is he better?
Well,
Apparently he's gonna be good to go. Yeah,
had about
apparently he's gonna be
6
good to go.
weeks. So
I'm with you though. Wanchuk is okay. Now I'm not trying to take too much credit for this, but I started this little social media thing not by accident. This was purely intentional. And Wanchuk hates it. So sorry, Colby. I don't know if he hates it, but he's always kind of gives me the side smile, like I hate it. And so whenever Wanchuk did really well at Reno, I always said to him, like, Colby, whenever you win and I get to interview you, I'm gonna say so and so just got Wanchucked. And so we were at Reno, and I was like, I'm like, it's got to be in house because I got to have a crowd. It can't be on TV because it just TV only because it won't really resonate. And so it's like, Reno, you just got Wanchucked. And so then I noticed that like other social media places started like saying like so and so just got Wanchucked. Like after every time he would do well, it's like that was me. And then I forgot to do it at Pendleton when he won Pendleton, which would have been the best time.
That was a badass bronc ride there.
Oh, it was epic. And black tie horse of the year.
Yeah, very cool.
That'd be a fun segment we could do, Wacey, where we just go around with Colby and he just
tells people they got Wanchucked.
Take Rick along with us too.
You should do like a punked scenario, like where you go and have him prank people and then tell them they just got Wanchucked.
Just got Wanchucked.
We put Colby in a disguise.
Yeah. Or then I said something to him. I go on tailgate show. Is like, how much Juan could a Wanchuck chuck for one chuck Juan? And he says it's appropriate because he said that his like family members, like great grandfather or something, like used to chop wood. That doesn't sound right. They were
where the
lumberjacks.
Yeah. Wood choppers. Oh boy.
Wood choppers. Yeah, and I was like, oh, see, perfect.
Oh boy.
But good choice.
Colby's a fave. But all the boys, all the Canadian boys are so good. Like we had an interview with Cole Ashbacker not long ago, and he's a very cool kid. Like they're an iconic Canadian rodeo family, and Leighton Green, like he's always a solid guy. Like the
only thing I'm worried about with Cole is if they're gonna mark him, just because he's kind of a bigger guy. And we were talking about it with somebody else too, that he's really got to get up there and point his feet out and really spur him, right? Instead of like you really got to get up there and get going. And I hope that they mark him. I hope he still gets marked well, and I hope that he, because they really scrutinize you down at the NFR, right? So I hope
it's a different look.
Yeah,
it's a different look versus like a Logan Hay versus a Cole Ashbacker, just because there's like 3 feet there, right?
Yeah,
and so it just looks different, and it's not anybody's fault or talent or skill.
So I hope a little harder. Hope it goes well. But okay, we got 2 more events, and I want to get more into the Janie story. But bulldogging and breakaway, which way do you want to go first? What are you thinking?
Oh, breakaway is Martha Angeloni. I realize that's cheating because I don't even know that it's possible for somebody to catch up to her.
It's that far away.
She is amazing roper. She's number 1. She's not going to mess up. Something crazy would have to happen for that to change.
What are the rounds paid in the breakaway?
Like 5? They pay like 5,000. Okay.
And they still have 10 rounds? Are they going to do 10 rounds in 2 days, like the open finals? Yeah. Oh, so she's got a $35,000 lead. 37.
It's possible, but it's not. She's just
not likely.
It's hers to win. It's hers to lose. Yeah. In the bulldogging,
that one's anybody's game too.
It is. I just feel like Wagispack just dominates in the Thomas and Mack. He just lights that place up. He thrives off of it. I would love to see Jorgensen win it just because he hasn't, and he's just a standout guy. Mabel's awesome. I don't know. Hunter Kears announced that he's retiring after this year, so it'd be cool for him. But he's already got 2 world titles, Let somebody else have it.
Let somebody else win.
Who do you guys think for the bulldogging?
Well,
is there
who else?
It's one of the closer races.
Dakota Eldridge is done well at the Thomas Mack. So is Kyle Irwin before. I remember talking to those guys a lot of different times. Ty Erickson has done well in there too.
Jesse Brown's on Tyson. Who else is on Tyson?
That I don't know. I'd have to ask, but I bet there's probably I
got him out of the boys.
At least 2 or 3, I'd guess, but I have to ask Curtis on that. But
For sure, Jesse is on him. I just don't know who else. I'm sure there's a couple others. We'd have to ask around.
Yeah, I'd have to ask him. But the Bulldog, and I remember talking to some of those guys different times, and they say everybody's mounted so well that it comes down to the draw. They just say it comes down to the draw. Like whoever draws the best, and you got to really execute on the good ones. And I remember, so that makes it interesting.
I'm down with your Wagus back prediction.
Yeah,
he gets it done in Vegas. That guy.
Yeah, he does. Every year, I think Wagispack's not going to win it, and then he does win it because he gets those go-round wins.
Who? So if you're putting a team together, Janie, who's on your team? Like, did you have to enter one of those teams in the tattoo league with those guys, or what's the deal? You did.
I'm in the tattoo league. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of really open to the idea of getting a tattoo if I lose.
Oh, really? But what about? But don't they design?
I just don't think anybody would expect it. Yeah, they design it, but I just don't think anybody would expect me to get the tattoo.
What's the worst tattoo you've seen happen so far?
The only person in the tattoo league that has ever gotten it is Justin Rumford.
Oh, really?
That's it. Everybody else has paid the money. Randy Corley paid the money.
Oh, okay, I see.
Everybody, because you can either pay like $1,500 to their charity or you get a tattoo. And I'm like, I'm all about the charity, but I think the tattoo would be funny.
Very cool. Good story.
If you were
like
gonna
a
pick
neck tat,
oh boy, if you're gonna pick
on your forehead.
If you're gonna pick somebody to win to pick you a tattoo, who would it be? Who would be the one that would pick your tattoo?
If I could pick who picks my tattoo, I'd pick probably Steve Kenyon because he's just like a genuinely nice guy. And he wouldn't want me to have something embarrassing. He would want me to have like a little cute butterfly or something sweet.
Oh boy.
And so
who would you not want to win?
Yeah, who would
Metters, because if it's Jeff Metters, I'm getting an OSU tattoo. I would have like Pistol Pete OSU like on my forearm. That if Jeff Metters picked my tattoo, like
so they pick the location too, or is it just they get to design it?
I think it's a design.
I think they design it. Rumford's tattoo is actually pretty cool. It's like a rodeo clown like in a barrel on his calf. Like you can see it when he wears his shorts. It's a pretty cool tattoo.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be something funny or embarrassing.
Yeah, well, you can, but they were nice to him.
Oh, that's good of them.
Which they shouldn't. It's Rump.
So for those that don't know what we're talking about either, so the Pro Fantasy Rodeo has you guys have a side bet. They call it the Tattoo League. So there's a few different, I would say, media and rodeo celebrities kind of in there. Like you got Flint's in there different times. Every year he's in there. Tallman, you said Randy Corley, Justin Rumford, yourself, Jeff Metters. I forget who else maybe in there.
Kenyon.
Yeah, Kenyon. Oh, yeah. So there's about 10, 15 people. So the winner gets to pick the loser's tattoo, or you donate money to the charity. So I'm thinking Wacey and I should do a bet this year on the final
tattoo league.
I don't want to do a tattoo league. We only have two of us.
Come on, bud.
Between that, we should pick some teams. So I'm curious. I'll go check out your team later on. We'll do that in the top and bottom of the show because it's probably.
I haven't actually made my team yet. I haven't
actually. Really?
Because I can make it up until round 1.
Who's going to be your star? Who are you thinking? Who's going to be your top dog on your team?
Like
probably
who do I go all in on?
Yeah, who do you go all in on? Yeah, who's your one?
I feel like I'm going to go all in on a barrel racer.
Oh, really?
Ooh.
But Haley's such good value this year, though. How do you go away from Haley?
That's what I mean. Like even going with a top 5 is going all in fantasy. I think my saddle bronc rider, I've been asking lots of different people. I've been asking all the bronc riders in my house. I haven't asked Dad what he thinks. But I'm almost thinking I'm going to go with like number 15, Tanner Butner for saddle bronc.
Really?
Because that guy doesn't buck off. Like I don't knock on wood here. He's an average guy for sure. Fun fact about Butner, he placed at the last 13 out of 14 rodeos he went to last year. Placed.
Really?
And he didn't get bucked off like the last 25 horses or something wild like that. So I'm like, Butner for the average and for pro rodeo fantasy or pro fantasy rodeo or whatever you just called.
That's why I was nervous about Dawson because I know Dawson's going to go for it and he's probably going to get thrown off a couple. Just the way that he goes because he goes
Dawson's
for
a
it
90
so
or nothing kind of guy.
Yeah.
He gives it.
For sure.
Or like Cole Ashbacker might be like the next Canadian version of Rod Warren where he hangs on and gets 10 road every year too. Maybe that's what we got to look forward to for Cole on that side. I don't know.
Honestly, Wyatt Casper, Chase Brooks, like those guys are all Ashbacker. Ashbacker doesn't buck off very much.
No.
Dude, okay, Leighton Green's my sleeper for sure.
Leighton.
Okay.
I just haven't seen Leighton hasn't had that really huge NFR yet though. That's the only.
That's why he's a sleeper, man.
I guess so.
He had a great CFR.
I wonder if the red chaps are how they fit on that side of things. I wonder if the chap color plays into the bronc riding scores at all.
The real question is, do you split your team ropers? Do you keep them together or do you split them?
See, because if you're gonna go all in, are you gonna pick Junior and Caleb? Like, because you already said that they got to.
I know. I don't think so. I don't think I do.
But how do you spend that much money on first place team ropers?
I don't because I don't believe in splitting. I never split. I don't know why. Ooh. I like them together. And I also don't like to split them because one year I actually did win like $2,700 because my team won the night.
Really?
Like my team did terrible because I did the real fantasy team. My team did terrible the whole time, but you get paid by the go round. And one night, every person in my team won first. And I wouldn't have won that money if I would have split my team.
Couldn't have, yeah. Huh.
So I think I keep my team ropers together, and I think I go with I'm thinking like a Wesley Thorpe and Cody Snow.
They'll do well. That's true.
Cody Snow and Wesley Thorpe. Yeah, I mean Wesley, they won the average, and Wesley won the world title that year.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Nothing is worse than having to tell a team roper, one of them, that they didn't win, and one of them that they did. I've had to do that. That's been me the last 5 years.
Oh, no way. You're that person?
Yeah, that's why the team ropers hate me.
Fun.
No, I'm just kidding. They don't hate me. But I'm I've had to do that a couple times because it's happened a lot.
So tell us what you're working on down there. Look, going into that, what all are you working on this year at the finals? You're interviewing the barrel racing winner and the rough stock winner, so you got those interview pieces. Is there some pre-show? Is there, tell us what all you got on the go for the finals this year?
Yeah, so I don't think I'm interviewing the barrel racer. I'm just commentating the barrel race.
Oh, okay, you don't have to interview them. Okay, gotcha.
Because it's hard to get to and from.
That wouldn't work. That's fair. Yeah.
So, but we'll do pre-show and post-show. I'm not on tailgate this year, but I think I'm guesting on the tailgate a couple times.
Oh, fun.
Just a little guest action.
That's exciting.
So yeah, it's great because then I actually have some time to think about the rodeo. Last year I was running around like a crazy person. It was like 10 hours of TV a day.
Oh boy.
It was too much.
That's a lot.
It was good, but it was too much.
That'll be a fun week though. And then where do you guys where do you spend most of your time? Are you at the building most of the time or in like the TV compound kind of behind, or what's the week look like for you?
I hang out at the TV compound. I'm staying at the South Point this year. And so I'm doing some other stuff too. Like I'm going to host the WPRA Stars banquet for the barrel racers. And then I'll kind of cruise over, because the rodeo starts at 5:45 this year. So I like to get to the event, like to the Thomas and Mack by 2. And I'm always kind of doing little stuff in between. We got to do autograph signings. Last year I told about 30 people where the Yellowstone booth was when I was signing autographs. Everybody would come up and be like, "Do you want an autograph?" And they'd be like, "Do you know where Yellowstone is?" And I'd be like, "Oh, they're over there." So that was fun. I'll do that again this year. And so I got to figure out where Yellowstone is so I don't tell people wrong.
That's fair. What's the rest of your year like now too then? Like you're going to a lot of the big events like the Cheyenne, Reno, Pendleton like you talked about, but how is that what else do you have on the go that way, Janie? What else is on the go? You're talking you want to get back and work around work to go and compete again too. So what's the plan in 2023?
I love the winter time because we're all in Texas, right? And so I can actually have my horses there and ride. And Fort Worth is great. Fort Worth Rodeo is actually closer to my house than the Stockyards is. So that's perfect.
That's handy. Because you're in Weatherford now. And I actually failed to mention this, but technically, well, you are Janie. Are you Janie Johnson Finlay now or Janie Finlay? I should have got that before we started, but you just got married just the other day too.
Yeah, it's okay. I haven't really figured that out yet.
Okay.
I'm going to be Janie Finlay in real life.
Yes.
But in magical TV land, my stage name will remain Janie Johnson.
What does Jake think about that? Is he okay with this?
Jake doesn't care. He's like, whatever. And I talked to Katie Lucas about it too, because Katie Lucas is so Katie Lucas, right? She can't change to Katie Berg. And so she told me she wasn't changing. And so I was like, all right, I'm not changing either. And because it would be so confusing for like Steve and Justin and Metters and Butch, like right before the NFR, like
Change
right
it
in
up.
the peak of confusing, to be like, let's throw to Janie. Let's throw to Janie. They're going to mess it up. Because I remember when that kind of happens, it just gets very confusing. We're just going to keep it. But
Well,
I will
even-
be Janie Finlay in real life.
I gotta say, I have a tough time sometimes on Facebook. I see people with different names, and I don't know who they are after a while. 'Cause they
Right?
change the name. I'm like, who is this person? I don't know who this is now.
It's confusing.
Tricky.
So I'm keeping it on TV. Katie Lucas was my inspiration. Shout out to Katie Lucas.
Hey, there you go. So the plan though is to compete again next year, though, right? We kind of got into that plan. Like, you want to get back going again.
I hope so. Yeah, I really want to. I've got some really cool horses, and I got a lot I really want to get started and going. I like a small horse property in Weatherford. And so I'm hoping during Fort Worth and all that. But we just don't really know our schedule for the winter yet. Last year I was kind of running around to lots of different ones. Like I did a little bit of Fort Worth. Then I was doing a bunch of the extreme bowls, like went up to Rapid City for extreme, because I was doing all the extreme events in 2020. And I think now they're realizing that I was a little bit too honed in on extreme events. They couldn't handle how extreme I was. And so
Too extreme for the extreme events.
Exactly. I was so extreme. And so now they're kind of splitting the love a little bit. So I'm hoping that I get to do more with Fort Worth, because I love that is the coolest rodeo. If you guys haven't been, you come
nice,
down.
Nice to be so close to home too.
Exactly. So I'm biased on that.
We haven't been yet,
I
but
actually
talked to some of the crew about it. I've seen the building. We were did see the Dickies Arena, and they had the PBR World Finals there, I guess, too. But when Wacey and I were down there last year, we went and checked out.
Beautiful facility. Looks like the
Yeah.
outside of it looks very, very cool.
It's so nice. It's so clean. It's like having a rodeo in an opera house. I stole that from Jeff Metters, who always said that.
Dang.
But yeah, I love that. And then San Antonio, I didn't get to go last year. I don't know if I'll go this year or not. That would be cool. Houston, we don't go to, but I actually went to Houston as a fan last year, so that was fun.
Cool. You see
Got
George?
to like sit in the stands and eat popcorn. No, they just sit in the stands and eat popcorn and watch the rodeo. And then, yeah, there's a lot of rodeos. I just don't know how many we're going to or how many I'm going to. But I'm hoping Fort Worth and those I'm on a little bit, because Rapid City's also going on. Rodeo doesn't slow down. Cowboy Channel does not slow down.
No, all the time. Then the summertime, like how would you manage to get around and do, be able to compete while you're like when you have 100 days of rodeo in a row in the summertime? How would that feel?
I did not run barrels this summer, and that was sad. It was sad. I ran a little bit more last year. This year it was just they were so out of shape. Family had a lot going on, so I couldn't really keep them in shape. And I just said, okay, you guys just enjoy your summer off, and we'll see you next year.
I want to go back to a few things too, Janie. I was reading up on a few different things and kind of how you got going, and the story about your first NFR working for Jeff sounded kind of interesting. Your dad, you kept talking or you were texting Jeff. You're like, hey, so do you need me in Vegas? And then you're kind of like in limbo and didn't know. And then your dad was like, just go, just show up, like just go and just be there. And then you ended up you were kind of like a bit of a runner and doing a bunch of different things. And then, that's kind of how it got started. But tell us that story.
Yeah, I basically forced my way in the door. Like it all kind of started in college. I had this like class assignment. We had to interview somebody in a job that we admired. And I didn't know anybody. I was a film TV major in college. So I didn't really know anybody in film or TV. My dad's like, I know a guy named Jeff Metters. And he called somebody, got his number. Jeff let me interview him over the phone. And he's like, oh yeah, if you're ever in Tulsa, come by. I took that really literally, and I had gone to run barrels in Tulsa, and I went by his office. I called him. I was like, hey, I'm coming by your office. Showed up in a University of Texas ball cap, which was no. Just diehard OSU. Still a fight we have yearly. And he said, oh, yeah, you can come intern. But like anybody who knows Metters, he's a hard guy to get in contact with. And he didn't know me, so I would be like, hey, can I still intern? No response, call him, no answer. He's getting ready for NFR. He doesn't have time for some college girl. Or he does, but at the time is just like he hadn't called me back. And my dad was like, I'm going out to Vegas for a meeting. Just fly out with me and like we'll just go. And I was like, I can't just show up. I was so embarrassed. And he's like, we'll just go. And if he says that he doesn't have anything, then no big deal. Then you just fly home. Then you got a couple days in Vegas. I was like, okay. And so I go out there to the Thomas and Mack, and I'm like, hello, it's me. And he was like, oh, I didn't think you were serious. I didn't think you were going to show up. And I was like, I'm here. let's work.
What do you
and
need?
so
Yeah.
I ran a teleprompter for Suzanne Alexander. I'd go get coffee for Butch Knowles and Joe B. I would always get Butch Knowles' rough stock draw and bring it up to him. And I like hung out with Katie Kaufman and her producer at the time when she was doing interviews, and just kind of did what everybody needed. I just hung out. I had the time of my life. It was a really simple time of my life, actually. It's wonderful. I wonder if I could go back. Should ask Metters. Say, hey, can I just do coffee again
Can I be
this
the
year?
intern again? Yeah.
It was the life. This is the best year ever. And then the next year, the gal that I shadowed that was a producer, she kind of got out of TV, and she was amazing. And she was like, you should get my intern, because she's like the only one that followed me around and knows kind of rodeo and TV. And so she'll know what to do. And so they called me, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'll do it. So then I did the producer thing for like 5 years. And then like I got to do some on-camera stuff for the pre-show while I was doing producer stuff, which was like at Back Number, and like rode a roller coaster with bareback riders, and went to the ice bar with the Canadians, and did some like on-camera stuff there. And it was really fun. And so that's what we did. And then Cowboy Channel. Then I worked for PBR Velocity Tour for 2 years. Yeah, and that was amazing. I loved the PBR Velocity Tour. They were like the coolest. And we did like 65 episodes a year. So every weekend I was gone at a Velocity Tour event, did all bull riding, all PBR. And Metters really wanted me to go do that because I needed some like real consistent on-camera experience, which is really hard to get in the Western industry.
Not much of it.
Cowboy Channel didn't exist. Nothing existed. So me doing junior high and high school finals was twice a year. That just really wasn't enough experience. So done a lot of that, did PBR, and then Cowboy Channel came to be, and Metters was like, you gotta jump on board. And I followed that guy to the ends of the earth. So I did.
What did you tell us more about the PBR time too? That we spent a lot of time on that side of things, but tell us more about that experience in those couple years on the road. That's a lot of events, but PBR does a really good job of the production side of things. In my opinion,
Amazing.
It's a similar show, hey? Everywhere you go.
They do amazing, and like it's the same crew. It's like a traveling family of people. They go everywhere.
We're not going
to
call it a circus, but it's a traveling family.
Yes, I wasn't going to say circus because it's really quite organized. They set up this amazing arena. They do this great show. Everybody's friends. They're great people. The Velocity Tour really was like a family. You know, and you do your hospitality, and like the bull riders are great. And now a lot of the bull riders that I interviewed, like I interviewed Dalen Swearingen at his first ever PBR event when he won the Velocity Tour. And now he's the PBR world champion, you know? That's so cool. Like I've got like a lot of those guys had to come to Velocity Tour. So I got to talk to like Jose and Dalen and all these great guys that are now just total superstars. And that was really cool. But it was a great experience for me because you guys know how bull riding interviews work. It's just like quick. Like they ride, you interview, they ride, you interview. You could do so many interviews by the end of the night. And I kind of had to learn how to just flow with it. And it was fun. I got to work with Anthony Lucia and Colby Yates, and those guys are like my brothers. And it was really fun. It was kind of sad to leave, but that show that I worked on doesn't exist anymore. It was that PBR Ride to Glory show. So good times. Good times. End of an era.
What was the biggest jam you ever got into on camera with the PBR stuff? Was there any funny time where you were like got stuck on something or couldn't get through something or had a bit of a language barrier maybe with somebody?
No, but one time I did actually get on a bull in the back pins because Colby Yates dared me to.
Oh boy.
Which I really regret. This doesn't have it. We tried to do a feature. One of the stock contractors, Matt Sharping, actually was like, hey, this bull is so sweet. My daughter rides him around the pasture at home. And Colby Yates was like, we got to do a feature on this. This is going to be great. And so we go into the back pins. This is like the one weekend that Anthony Lucia wasn't there. He would have talked us out of it. And I get on this bull in the pin, not in the chute, in a pin.
Yeah.
And the bull's
Extreme
chill.
Danger.
The bull's chill. And Colby hands me the microphone. I don't know if this bull thought it was a hot shot or what. He dropped me to the ground like so fast and then went to like maul me. And Colby like had to grab my leg and pull me through the fence. And it was all on TV. Like it was all on camera, the whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, I almost just died. And we thought, okay, no one has to see this. It's recorded, but we're going to ditch this. Like no one needs to know this happened. This was a major stupid thing. PBR is going to be mad. Everyone's going to be mad that we even tried this. And Matt Merritt got a hold of the video and put it on the big screen during intermission for everyone to see. And they came to me and like, that's the reporter. So that was the biggest jam of my PBR experience.
What about so going back to the high school stuff though? I didn't know that you were a hazer.
Oh, okay. So you guys are starting to see a trend. Okay, I kind of have a tendency to just do whatever on camera. I'm not a hazer. There was just a really boring feature and it wasn't going anywhere. So I thought, okay, well, what if I tried to haze for one of these kids at this jackpot? Because it was like a sponsored feature on the jackpot. They're like, we want you to do a feature on a jackpot. I'm like, that's so boring. There's nothing to work with that. And so then I was like, what if I learned to haze? And so this dad, and I actually interviewed this dad's kid, who was his dad's horse just the other day, who did well at a rodeo at Pendleton. And he let me hop on his hazing horse, and I hazed for this kid at the jackpot. And it scared, I could have killed the guy. It really was unsafe, but I kind of had a tendency to just kind of hop in there and do crazy things like that.
Did you what were you yelling at the time? Like what does a hazer say to the contestant? I don't even know this part. Is there something that you're like yelling at the time? Like you're yipping with the barrel racing because you're excited about it, but like what does the hazer say? Like, yeah, you're good, get in there. Go on. Like what
you're out.
You're out. I don't know. I was so experienced. I was just like looking straight ahead, trying not to run him over whenever he got off. But you're supposed to just stay really, really close to the steer so it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a good horse. That's all I can say.
Oh boy.
But it was pretty wild because the kid didn't know that I'd never hazed. Like right before we go, he goes, "Wait, has she ever hazed before?" And the dad's like, "Oh yeah, all the time." I had never done it before, ever.
Classic.
But yeah, I'm like not afraid to do things like that. Like I'll ride the roller coaster. I'll get on the bull or haze a steer. Like just because keep things interesting. It gets boring. You got to do something fun.
Did you get on skates with the Golden Knights thing with Clay Elliott and Scott at that time? Were you at that? Were you skating too, or was it just those guys and you were on the side? I forget now.
No, I produced that feature, so I was the one that set that up with the Golden Knights. But I wasn't in that one because it didn't really need it. They had they ran with it. That was cool, though, wasn't it?
I thought that was awesome. I always thought
anytime you get the Canadians on ice, yeah, that's very cool.
I think we
and
should
the Golden
do
Knights
one.
weren't they? Didn't they make it to the Stanley Cup that year?
Well,
that had been their first. That was their first year. Yeah,
that was cool. And like the Canadians actually thought they were going to be better. They're like, these guys are from Las Vegas. They're not going to be any good. And I was like,
a lot of the guys are Canadian.
I don't think they were like real hockey. The ones that really did that weren't maybe major hockey fans. They didn't get it.
So going back to University of Texas, you studied film, and then so I was reading this other piece where you actually met Taylor Sheridan and didn't even realize it was the guy behind Yellowstone.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's embarrassing too. Yeah, I met Taylor Sheridan at the Riggin Rally, and I love to say that we met. Now we're best friends. We hang out all the time, and but that's not the case. But I met him at the Riggin Rally. And he was so nice, him and his wife. And I just thought, oh, this is a really nice guy that's at the Riggin Rally. And it was at Steiner's house. And it was Taylor. It was pretty cool. My mom was there. And she goes, you just met Taylor Sheridan. So everything that guy does is amazing.
Is there is the film side of things something that you want to get back into though at some point? And like it's been kind of some of your experience too, hasn't it?
Yeah, so I was a film major, and I worked on a couple films whenever I was in college, but I just haven't really done anything with it in a long time. I haven't really had an interest to do anything with it in a while, just because everything really moved to LA and California, and I kind of decided that wasn't for me. But with everything going on with Taylor and Yellowstone and 1883 and all these cool Western projects, yeah, I would love to get back into it, but I just feel like I've been out of it for a really long time. But if Taylor, if you're watching Cowboy Shit and you want to give me a call, great. I'm available. Stunt double,
Whatever you need.
I'm an incredible actress. I don't actually. But yeah, he's very, very cool. And Jeff is really good friends with Taylor. Like Jeff got to go to the Yellowstone premiere last week at Stockyard. Really? They had the premiere for Yellowstone at Stockyard. So cool.
That's very cool.
Really?
Very cool.
Like they could have done it in LA and they were like, no, why would we do that? They did it at the Stockyards.
Going to Fort Worth. Well, the Bosque Ranch, the headquarters just in Fort Weatherford too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right. They actually did the premiere at the Isis Theater, which is just right across from Lonesome Dove, and the big party was at the Drover. And I guess it was really cool. And everybody was there, Kelly Riley, all of them.
Oh, dang. Even Kevin Costner, too? The whole crew?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't there, but
Who's
yeah.
the most famous person that you've met or have on your phone, Janie? Curious about this now.
Ooh.
Is it Core Blonde?
Well,
and is it Core Blonde since he was at your wedding?
Core Blonde's definitely on there. Wow, the most famous person I've met. I was in a ski gondola with Michael J. Fox for like an hour.
Ooh,
Really?
a Canadian treasure.
Did you get stuck
We
in there?
love
What
that
happened?
guy.
Yeah, it was like with a big major gondola, and it was my mom and I and Michael J. Fox, and I was a kid, and I just talked and talked and talked to him because I didn't know who it was because I hadn't seen Back to the Future. But I
No
mean,
way.
yeah, him. Trying to think of any. I think Jeff Metters might be the most famous person I know, which isn't, he's pretty legendary to me.
He
Butch
has
Knowles,
done a lot of
Butch
stuff.
Knowles, he's a legend.
That's
Huh?
awesome.
Maybe Corb.
Maybe Core.
I mean, I've met other people. I've met like Cody Johnson and Aaron Watson and all those guys. Ian Munsick. I've interviewed those guys for like Cowboy Channel. So I guess that counts.
Who do you want to interview in your rodeo and like I guess broadcasting career that you haven't yet? Who would be somebody you want to talk to on camera that you might get to this year as kind of a part of something? Would there be somebody, or who else would you want to talk to? All-time interview. Who would it be?
Well, this is silly, but this was a big one for me. Like, I've obviously known Trevor Brazil since I was a little kid, just from he lived near Canyon for a long time. He went to WT. And so, like, I've always known him, but I was really sad because I thought when he retired that I would never get to interview him on TV. He's the king of the Cowboys. I really wanted to get to interview him. And then when he kind of came out, he didn't come out of retirement, but when he did the steer tripping at Pendleton and the calf roping, I got to interview him. And that was like a huge fangirl moment for me because I was like, I never thought this would happen.
What did you ask him?
I
don't
one of the producers, like, we could tell you were really excited in that interview. Like, well, I was. But somebody that I haven't interviewed, I don't know. I'd love to interview Taylor Sheridan. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like me. I love Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that'd be very cool.
Die-hard Clint Eastwood fan. I took a Clint Eastwood class in college.
Really?
I'm obsessed. All of his movies. I love him as a director, as an actor. I think he's a legend. I don't know the guy, but I would love to interview him. I've like read his books. Like, I love Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that'd be neat.
So yeah, good one. And he's getting up there. I'm running out of time.
Yeah, true.
Gotta make it happen.
He's like 90 something.
I've thought Robert Duvall would be neat too. Talk like some of the, or Tommy Lee Jones, like talk some of the Lonesome Dove stuff from back in the day. I think that'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, Kurt Russell, Tombstone.
Yeah, that'd be
Sam Elliott.
That'd be very cool.
Sam
the Tombstone's badass.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like my favorite. Lonesome Dove too, but it just takes a lot longer to watch.
It takes, you gotta saddle up for some Tombstone.
Janie, I kind of want to go off the board a little bit here, but what's your experience been like on the broadcasting side of things and kind of as a woman in the industry? We need to have, I think we want to, like, Kate Harrison did she do the play-by-play at the American this year or last year? Like that was a cool step. Like I would love to see that, because it's, no offense to Jeff and Butch, but it's been them for the last 25 years, and Cody Snyder, like it's been mostly men on a lot of that side of things. So talk about that side of things for you.
That's a deep question, Ted, but I do think that Kate Harrison getting to do the American and all the PBR team stuff. I mean, how epic is she? She is like the most impressive woman ever. I have never actually gotten to meet Kate Harrison. So Kate, if you're watching this, once again, we message each other on Instagram. We kind of like have like an Instagram conversation from time to time. I'm a diehard fan of Kate Harrison. I think she's fantastic. And I'm also a huge fan of her because every person that I've ever met that has been around her has nothing but wonderful things to say. Like, I've heard she's the nicest, most wonderful person in real life. And I thought she killed it. I thought she did such a great job. And it was a huge step for women. There's been women in the past that have done that on TV. Like Pam Minnick has done a little bit of that and announced rodeos a little, but it's never really gotten to take off in terms of a major thing like the American or the PBR teams. I do agree that women don't have to be the only ones on sideline. Like, I think it should be interchangeable. Like, if you look at NFL or NBA, like, you see a man do sideline interviews all the time. I think it's a little bit old school to say that it always has to be a woman doing the sideline or anything like that. Yeah, it is typically more women, but I feel like in other sports you see a lot of males do it too. You don't see a lot of women commentating like the sport directly, but in other sports, like you see women like hosting, like Samantha Ponder hosts the NFL Network Sunday Countdown show, and I think she's like my hero in terms of like sports network people. I think I'd love to be able to see more women host major shows. Western Sports Roundup is cool, but I'd love to be able to, I don't know, have a show that revolves around pro rodeo that doesn't really matter if it's male or female. But also, like, rodeo industry is good about things like that too, in terms of, like, I've never felt weird about the male female thing. Like, we work with such amazing guys that are so respectful and cool, and it's just never been an issue with all of us. But the commentating thing for Kate Harrison was awesome. That was cool. I don't know if I could do it. I think it'd be hard. That's a hard job.
On the PBR side, though, like I'm just thinking about our tour up here. So we've got Scott Byrne does the sideline interviews, and then we've got Dave Paulson and Brett Gardner as the announcers. But I could see you in a position where like it was you and Brett talking on the bull riding side of things, and he gets some commentary because you could know the bulls and the riders and have a specific piece of information on that side of things. Like I think that could probably work on, at least on like
the color side of thing.
Yeah, I think that could absolutely work. You could do either side of it, really, right?
Well, I do think it could work, and I'm not even saying for me specifically. Like, a lot of the greats didn't necessarily play the sport, right? You have to be able to talk to it's all. I feel like a lot of the key to doing a good job on that color side is to have relationships with the riders or the barrel racers or whoever to get their side of the story, and then you just communicate that. Mm-hmm. That's your job. You're not trying to tell someone they didn't do a good job or they didn't do this right or they needed to do this. You're getting their perspective and then reporting that perspective. So I think it's definitely possible, and I think it should be interchangeable. And I will say that PBR is kind of ahead of the game in terms of mixing things up. They're kind of always trying new things, and I think that'll happen in pro rodeo eventually. But you also get in such a good swing of things that sometimes you don't want to move around.
Well, I guess the thing with one of the things on the PBR side is that consistent crew everywhere, because on the rodeo side, the committees end up doing the hiring for everything. So it would be there's probably less change implemented on the rodeo side because it's not a top-down production plan, I guess is what
exactly.
I'm getting at. Yeah.
Exactly. Every place is different. Every single rodeo has a different idea, a different backdrop. It's never the same team. You don't hear the people back in the truck. Like when I go to rodeos for Cowboy Channel, it's just me and a cameraman. They don't have anybody else with Cowboy Channel there. Wow. Unless it's Calgary. But like Reno, for example, it was me and a videographer, and that's it. And Justin has been there in the past, but I don't even hear Justin because I'm in house for interviews. I don't even have ears in. They just take that interview from the feed that goes to the feed. Really? So you're not really working like on a broadcast team.
You're working in the rodeo in the
in-house production.
Yeah. And you don't even have ears, so they can't even tell you like, hey, Jenny, do you have the guy? Are you ready to go? Like Bob will just be like, and we're gonna go down to Janie Johnson with Colby Wanchuk, and you got to hope that you're ready, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And then some rodeos that we weren't in-house, like Pendleton, we weren't in-house for. Oh. It's just a producer in the studio that'll cue me. I don't hear, like, we're not working together as a broadcast team. I'm like one-woman show with me.
You just cut in.
I just cut in, yeah.
Oh, really? Then they kind of split screen.
I'm hoping that we get past that one day. I think eventually we're going to get into full broadcast. Like Calgary was obviously a full broadcast with the broadcast team, and we're all working together.
Yeah.
And everyone's there for meetings, and it's a thing, or NFR. I'm hoping we get that at Cheyenne and Reno and these big rodeos. But right now we're just making it work and trying to get as many rodeos on TV as possible.
Yeah. Oh, true. And it's been a huge boost the last few years. And like even up here now, we've got the Cowboy Channel on our as part of our cable packages on some of our providers. So it's huge boost. Yeah. The only problem is that they still make us pay to watch the NFR. I think we have to pay for the plus to be able to watch the finals. But
I actually saw that on a commercial yesterday. Katie Lucas is like, "Hello, fellow Canadians. You have to do this to watch the NFR."
Yeah. Got to get another $100. But anyways, I want to ask though, Janie, what else do you want to do in the in this industry? Where do you see yourself fitting in, and what, we got the live broadcast where, you're in where you are where you are right now. What else do you want to do? What else do you want to see in the next, 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Like where do you want to be, and what do you want to do?
In terms of like the industry stuff, like kind of going back to what we just said, I'm just really wanting to see major rodeos on like a full broadcast, full team level production. I feel like we've tapped out on like seeing as many rodeos as possible, and everybody wants to see, Arcadia, Florida, and these other really cool little small rodeos. Those should be on there, but we need to have like big, real production, like TV network quality stuff. I hope we're working towards that. I don't know if it's going to happen during my career span, but there's a lot of things I never thought would happen during my career span that have. I never thought in my career a lot of things that have happened would happen. So things do move fast. There's like this constant shift happening in the Western industry right now. Like, do you guys feel that? We're just like everything is so fast, and so much is about to happen that we don't even know.
Well, and the growth side of things too, like you mentioned, like talking about Yellowstone and stuff. Like it's becoming cool to be Western again. It's kind of like back in the day with like the Marlboro commercials and all that stuff. Like people want to be part of Western. Even like the Beyonce and Adidas thing, like that was super cool. Like there's so many things happening that are kind of bringing people back to the Western side of things.
Yeah, I mean, right now I feel like I'm just like sitting back and being like, what's going to happen next? What is Cowboy? Cowboy Channel hasn't even been around for 3 years. That's crazy to think about everything that's happened in just the 3 years since it started. So I'm like, what could happen there? I don't know. I would like to have time to run barrels and be back with my horses a little bit for me in the future career, but I'm not ready to be out of TV either. I just got to figure out my balance and my role and like what I want to do there. But so much is happening, and for most of it, I feel like I'm just kind of like an observer as things change.
Rolling on with it. I gotta say that I was just dreaming up like what it might look like, and I could see you someday if and when Butch and Jeff, if somebody retires, like I could see you going and being in one of those places for some of these big shows. You could be the host or the color on these big broadcasts for the NFR. For like I could see that at some point. That I'm kind of curious what you think on that side of things too.
Well, thank you. That's really nice of you to say that you see me that highly. That's beautiful. That's so sweet. I don't know. Well, you guys were talking about this. I'll try anything. If they want me to try it, I'll try it. Text me at round 4. Let's go.
What event in rodeo have you not tried yet that you want to still try?
I would love to do like the color on some extreme events. I mean, bronc, because I've done a lot of bulls. I'd like to do some more bronc riding. I love the bronc riding.
The bronc riding has become my favorite event. I love the bronc riding. It's so good. Yeah, like between like the CFR, like we had a few of the like the best nights of bronc riding we've seen in Canada, and then the NFR. I got to sit in the Montana Silver Smooth seats last year, the NFR with Corb, and that was such a cool vantage point to see the bronc riding from. It's badass.
I think so much is going to change with bronc riding in terms of like the extreme bulls and like PBR. People love bronc riding because people love horses, and it's not quite as violent. People like the violence of PBR. Violence isn't the right word, but they like that it's like an extreme adrenaline sport, But bronc riding can be that way too.
Well, look at the hard grass up here in Canada. So like that's they've like kind of set the standard of what like standalone bronc riding events can be.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would love to have something like that down here in Texas. Maybe one day.
Gotta make it happen.
Maybe we'll just make something happen.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, I think we better. I think there was something else I was thinking about, but we better tap out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of awesome though.
Well, we gotta finish off with the final question that we ask every guest on Cowboy Shit.
Did you say you're on the edge of your seat? Is that what you said?
I'm on the edge of my seat. Yeah.
Oh.
This is typically the hardest question of the podcast. Janie, what is your definition of cowboy shit or cowgirl shit?
And do you think it should be cowgirl or cowboy, or is it a gender neutral term?
I think it's gender neutral, but I do like my sweatshirt that says cowgirl shit because I say that a lot. Like whenever, like if I'm doing a bunch of ranching or stuff out at the, like if I'm like off TV and I'm out at the ranch and I've been moving cows or branding, I always say this. Someone's like, "What have you done?" I'm like, "I've been doing cowgirl shit all day." So I do think it's gender neutral as cowboy shit though too. It's hard to put into words, you guys. It's a lifestyle. And I should have cheated and watched other people's answers to this. But I think cowboy shit is anything that's like tough and cool and just being a cowboy and living the life, no matter whether it's rodeo style or out at the ranch or just living the lifestyle, doing cowboy shit.
Something you get to do.
You're definitely the embodiment of it, being like the willingness to try like everything. That's super cool. Like hopping on the bull and the back pens or hazing or everything else that you've done in your careers. It's definitely definitely fit the definition of it. Very cool.
Yeah, I thank you. I love that. That just gave me a little boost. I needed that right at the start.
I remembered what I was thinking about. I kind of blanked out for a sec, Janie, but what has your experience been interviewing your husband, Jake?
Oh, a lot of people give me so much heck about that. Like I got to interview him at Salinas this year, and it was really funny because normally, like, if somebody wins the performance, like they kind of hang around because they kind of know. Like I had to go find him because he was gone. I was like, hey, and he was with all of his friends. I was like, hey, I think you're my interview. And he was like, what? Do I have to? And I was like, yeah, you do. You have to. He's not as Jake is like fun and outgoing as he is. He's not really like an attention kind of person. Like that's just not like his thing. But I like to keep it really professional, and people really think that like we don't like each other on TV because I interview him like I interview anybody else. Like I do not say like, oh look, yay, give him a hug. Like you should have kissed him. I'm like,
good job, honey.
Not, no way. I keep it professional, and then I'll hug him after. But it's like, straight and straight. We're gonna talk about the horse. I'm going to use my insider information to come up with a really good question, but that's about it. But it's been fun.
So you may or may not have been more excited to interview Trevor Brazile. So
I don't like to interview Jay because I don't like to be biased. Like even when he won like the circuit finals and stuff, like we had to bring him on Skype, and Steve was like, "You want to do it?" I'm like, "Absolutely not, Steve. You do it," because I don't want it to be like a part of my thing. I'm not biased, even though I am in my personal life. My stage name, Janie Johnson, is unbiased.
Yeah, that'd have been tough. Must have been tough for like it was Jennifer Smith when Strand was at the finals too, right? That would have been tricky for her for a long time too. Wouldn't it have been?
Oh, I'm sure because you can't. I mean, she was so excited when he won the world. I mean, how could you not be? I don't know. I hope that I have that problem one day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay,
but
Jenny, sorry, go ahead.
Stop. No, you're good. But yeah, no, it's cool. And Jake doesn't care because he doesn't want me to. He's not like a, big PDA kind of person. He just is like, let's get this over with and then go eat.
Well, and we didn't really talk about the Corb thing. Corb's been on our show a lot of times. We're going to see him in Vegas. He's got a couple shows. We'll see you down there as well. But like, he ended up at your wedding at your after party. We got to talk about that just a little bit.
It was epic. Jake and Corb are really good buddies. And Jake had always kind of told me that they were buddies, but I never really, I was like, sure you are, Jake. I'm sure you're friends with him. And then I got an RSVP that like Corb was coming to the wedding. And I was like, no way. I'm like, he's not going to come. There's no way. And he did. And it was so cool. And my mom is like his biggest fan. So she ran over to him and was like, will you play a song? And he played a whole set after the wedding. And gosh, that guy, like you think that he's cool when you see him, but whenever like every element I've ever been around him, he is so nice. He's so cool. He's full on cowboy shit like all the time. And I'm huge. Like I'm his number one fan now, but he's a good guy. He's a good person. And his music is the best. I mean, I tell everybody about Corb now.
What's your favorite Corb song?
Cows Around.
Yeah.
He played that one at the wedding, because it's my mom's favorite too. He's like, I'd like to dedicate this song to Janie's mom. My mom just got passed out, and then he played Cows Around.
Oh boy,
that was so funny.
He would have just had the most fun time too with all the bronc riders. Like he's a big bronc riding fan, as well. And his uncle Lynn Jensen was a bareback rider, Canadian champion back in the day, and he would have Corb would have loved that. I bet it was so much fun. The videos look really good. You guys had a teepee party. Party teepee, yeah.
Yeah, it's the perfect setting for Corb. It was. Robbie Hodges. The best thing about Corb too is like obviously he's a legend, but he also let all the random drunk cowboys play with him. Like Robbie Hodges. We know Robbie Hodges, the rodeo clown. Oh, yeah. He played with Corb. It was his equipment. And Robbie Hodges is actually pretty talented.
Unbelievable
and like
guitar
Preston
player.
Preston Burr got to play with him, and is like Corb was just cool with whatever.
Oh man, that's awesome. So much
He
fun.
also did get up on stage and sing Emerald by Morning during the wedding, though.
Oh, really?
Well, he does a good version of that song.
So good.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
I think anything Corpus is pretty good.
Congratulations too, by the way, Janie, if we didn't say it yet. Congrats.
No, thank you.
And have a great time at the finals. Thanks for spending the time with us, and we'll see you down there. Thanks a lot for doing this, though. We appreciate it a lot.
We'll see you guys in Vegas. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Ted and Wacey. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Janie.
It's the finals, the NFR, the series of the sport. Hey, rookie, can you take 10 head? Have you got the heart? You think you're a tough cowboy? We'll find out in the end when that final whistle blows and the stock's all in.
Thanks one more time to Janie Johnson for joining us and giving us her insights, telling us her story, and just for the visit. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Janie and glad she took the time the day after Thanksgiving to have a chat.
It was very cool, man. She's very knowledgeable and very well spoken. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool to catch up with her and excited to see her work this upcoming week in Vegas.
Well, and I guess we don't even get to really see her work, honestly.
We'll get to hear her work though.
True.
And it's on TV, so it's visual. So take that, Ted.
True.
Take that, Ted.
True. That's kind of funny though. Like, I know we talked about it, but like, I didn't even have the Cowboy Channel on my TV until October. You're not even a subscriber.
You did bring up my parents are like, they love the Cowboy Channel. It is kind of shoddy that the Canadians have to pay the extra to watch
on
NFR.
TV and you won't even let us have it. It's kind of like us having to pay to watch fucking Yellowstone this year.
Yeah,
it's horse
it's a
shit.
Shitty deal.
Paramount.
Damn you, Paramount.
Horse shit. And you know what else? I actually did tweet about that. The other thing I was going to say is that, and then I forget what I was going to say.
I do want to say, okay, one thing. We watched the latest episode of Yellowstone last night, so spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet. But it's also Wednesday.
Season 5,
the show's been up for
4.
4 days by this point, so if you haven't watched it yet, then you suck.
You're behind.
Or
you're just waiting. Not that you suck, but you're just waiting till it's all out, and then you're going to use a free trial to watch all the whole season in a week.
Anyways,
well, it's not. It's just like, hey, it's just.
I wanted to comment on the branding scene from last night. I thought that was very cool. It was very well done and authentic, and you don't really. That's probably the first time that a branding scene has been shown in the mainstream TV ever before. I thought that was really cool. Like, they showed everything from like the actual branding of the calves to like cutting their nuts out and gathering them up and
on TV,
roping, and like it was very, very well done.
And it's cool to see like some of the actors like straight up doing it.
Yeah.
They looked like they legit did it.
Yeah, it was sweet, man. That was one of the like one of the slower scenes, but like one of the more like impactful scenes, like for like Western lifestyle and stuff that I've seen on the show. Like similar to when they brought in the reining cow horse stuff and all and the cutting, like,
and they were doing the stopping.
Yeah, they're doing all that stuff. It's like that's never been on a mainstream TV show where millions of people are tuning into every Sunday night to watch. I thought it's really cool to see that stuff and being represented well too. It's not just like a bunch of it's not like the branding side of things. They showed kind of the whole process, and it was authentic, which is really cool.
And I would have liked to see Rip, like Cole Hauser, bring one into the fire.
Yeah,
that'd have been kind of cool to see.
But he had the big man job of branding, so that's a lot of respect.
It's a big deal
involved with that job. So very cool.
I'm curious to see what the Yellowstone branding is like, because they said that's going to be the next
week.
So that might be interesting too.
Yeah, I remember the first time, because the first time they showed branding in the show, it was kind of shoddy because like it was they were branding in the rain. It was like a muddy pan. It just wasn't really like nobody. If anybody's ever been to a branding or has cows, you know that you're not branding in that type of weather.
No, you push it back till the next.
You push it back till it's sunny out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So to see them kind of like rectify that in a sense is like and like do it the right way. It's really cool. So hopefully they continue on that trend.
I do got to say too, one of the things I like as far as the, like, I don't know if you call it like filmography or like the way that the show runs.
Yeah,
I like that they make a scene and put the one song through the whole scene and play the whole song.
Hell yeah!
I don't like. I might just be noticing now because it's country and western music, and I'm wondering when our friend Cor Blund is going to get a song on the show. There was something we were talking about, and he's like, "Yeah, I just need to get a show on song on
the
Yellowstone."
Perfect song for your Yellowstone episode would be like "Truth Comes Out."
That'd be neat, but apparently, and I don't know if this is true. I don't know. I hope it's just a rumor, but apparently somebody said that Taylor Sheridan doesn't like Canadians. So I hope that's false.
Really? Oh man,
I hope that's false and not
We got to get him on the show to discuss this rumor.
Yeah,
but we got to bust some myths.
Got to bust that myth. So,
anyways, kudos to Yellowstone.
Apparently, he thought Coulter Wall wasn't Canadian. That's why he got a song on the show.
Oh shit!
But I don't know. That's just hearsay.
Some hot goss.
Cannot
We'll get to the bottom
or
of it,
deny
though.
these statements.
That's our goal for the upcoming season of Cowboy Shit, is to come up with whether that's fact or fiction. That Taylor Sheridan, in fact, does not like Canadians. But in saying that, shout out to the Yellowstone crew for an awesome episode. And like the song they use, Zach Bryan, it's well documented that I'm a big Zach Bryan fan, so I was stoked about that. Very cool, very cool. We're recording this podcast from the road, another roadcast, and we're getting passed by some semis right now, and so it's Ted's kind of focusing on the road as we go on, but we are went through Dillon, Montana, heading south to Idaho Falls on our way to Vegas. Going down another hill.
Up another hill.
The roads have been kind of sketchy for the most part of the drive this morning, but they're kind of getting better.
Nice for a while.
But it's never a fun time when you're getting passed by a semi going 75 mile an hour when it's kind of not nice out. So.
And Wacey, we got to talk about our friends from Range Fuel, man. I wish that I had a stick of Range Fuel right now.
We're kind of in those weird hours between breakfast and lunch where it's like you could either buckle up and have lunch, or you could just have a snack to kind of tide you over. And we are in the point of needing a snack. And our friends from Range Fuel, they have knocked it out of the park with their snack, you want to call it, whatever. It's 100% grass-fed beef, comes in a stick form. I don't know what Ted's making me some weird hand gestures towards me.
I was wondering
it's GMO-free.
It's all for Range Fuel.
All natural ingredients, made in Alberta. It's all 100% Alberta beef. Very good stuff.
Sweetened with real
honey. So, I mean, if you're looking for a snack and you're one of those folks who's a bit conscious about what you put in your body, Range Fuel is what you want to have. They have a ton of retail locations in kind of in and around southern Alberta. You can order from them online. Right now it's only available in Alberta just due to some federal regulations, but Canada-wide and being able to ship is on the horizon. So
we had to eat it before the border yesterday.
Yeah, check out our friends at rangefuel.com.
RangeFuelJerky.com.
RangeFuelJerky.com, and they'll get you fixed up.
Or on the social medias.
Social medias at Range Fuel Jerky. Is that same handle? Yeah.
Exactly, Range Fuel Jerky. And thanks to our friends Kyle Wilson, Tyler Thompson.
Yeah.
For recommending. Tyler for recommending.
I know. I can't wait to get back to Alberta and get more Range Fuel. So
yeah, I'm excited.
Be sweet.
Right in time for your birthday, for the birthday pod.
Birthday Range Fuel, baby.
Wait, so we got a couple other things. Let's get into
one thing I really wanted to get to was recently there was an article floating around to the Calgary Herald, Calgary Sun as well, that I'll read the headline here just so everybody can get a gist of where it's going. Chambers says Calgary needs a rebrand to attract workers and reflect diversity. And then the subtitle is, many people think the city is still dominated by corporate and cowboy culture, and it's difficult to fit in if you do not identify with either of those segments. So that was put out earlier last week, and I don't know. It's something that kind of didn't sit well with me, just because I think that's kind of the wrong direction. If you're Calgary, I know, like we were talking before we started recording here, like over the past few years, Calgary's been rated like one of the best places to live in the world, number one place to live in Canada, but it's also top 3 in the world. So I mean, like, yeah, it can't be that bad. And look at another thing to look at too is the tech boom that's happening in Alberta. Like Calgary's becoming like the tech hub for Canada with all
look at our friend Hafiz.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many things happening in Calgary, and I think part of that, what the culture is in Calgary now, is what attracts people to it. You know, it's like it's a good place to live, down home people, kind of has a small town vibe in the big city, which you don't get in the Torontos and Vancouvers of the world. So
and with the way that things are going, and I mean the person in charge, like this Deborah Yedlin, is a super liberal kind of lady. It sounds like, and I don't know why in the heck you'd want to get away from the Stampede and the Western way of life and the Yellowstone trend when it's going the right direction,
right?
And you want to get away from that?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah.
You have an event the size of the Olympics every year in your town that brings millions of dollars to your city and millions of people.
The tourism boost,
and you want to change that?
Yeah.
Why?
It doesn't make any sense.
People would, I don't know. But then the other side of it is that, like, I don't know how many cities would try and put something together like the Stampede to have that kind of an event and have that boom to your city and have that identity and have that many volunteers, like 700 volunteers are part of that event. It's like a community event. Like, there's nothing else in Canada that's anywhere close, is there?
No. I wouldn't say
like the Grey Cup travels, but it's not the same
scale
magnitude, I don't think.
No,
like it's
for the length of time too, right? Like
but it's for like what? For like the Grey Cup Festival, they're trying to make it a bit bigger and they're working on that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else.
But
Like
but
the
the
P&E in Vancouver would be kind of, but it's not world renowned. Like people think of rodeo and they think of the Calgary Stampede.
well, then they think of Canada and Alberta and they think of the Calgary Stampede too, right? Like
Yeah.
that. It's a like you said, a world renowned thing, and that they.
What else do people come to Canada for?
Right, you know?
on the event side of things, besides the Olympics that that won't come back until we have a mayor and city council in place that actually thinks it's good for the city. But in saying that, the the current mayor decided to change the deal for the arena, and if you really want to get down to why people don't want to come to Calgary and might not want to do business here, is because the current governance is making it nearly impossible, and the cost of living is making it nearly impossible. If you would have a little bit of sense that way to attract business and hold your deals, like actually, what am I trying to say? Like actually be accountable, and actually like when you're back in the heart of the New West days, a handshake actually meant something, and you could make a deal like that. And now they have something on paper and they can't even make a deal on an arena.
Yeah.
So, or hold their word. So until that changes, I don't care what marketing you're going to do to attract people. If the people you're trying to do business with here aren't trustworthy and aren't going to try the right way, then that's good enough marketing to drive people away. So
yeah, well, I just don't think rebranding what Calgary is going to change that landscape. I think that's going to hurt it overall more than anything, right? Like it's just tough to see, especially because I mean we're looking through the lens of being ingrained on the other side of it, working in Western and growing up in Western and stuff. But you can just see what Calgary's been one of the booming cities coming out of the pandemic, and it's kind of went hand in hand with like you said, the Yellowstone popularity, and like Western is cool again, right? So. I don't know why.
It.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, exactly. Lean into it. That's kind of the direction we need to go with it.
People still want to be cowboys. I don't think it. I mean, like a lot of people still want to be cowboys, and it's a neat way of life, a unique way of life, and something steeped in tradition. Where I don't know why people want to get away from it when it's our Alberta history. It's what the country and what the province was built on. And I don't know why you try and cover up and get away from that.
And it's just so sad.
I think we need to lean into it and promote it more and get more people into our way of life.
It's sad to see so many folks in Calgary like wanting to push it away or push it. Like even in regards to Stampede, it's just like we should be embraced. Like the city does a really good job of embracing it, but there's so many people who like knock
not
it
necessarily
and like
maybe the
not
government.
as good. Not necessarily exactly. I think we need to do more to like be proud of that part of it. I think it's something to be proud of what it's done and like what it does for the like you said what it does for the city with like the tourism it brings in, the amount of revenue for the city, the scale of the event. What it does for anything, right? Like it does
like to the indigenous communities.
There's so many positive things that happen within Calgary because of the Stampede, and there's so many people out there who still like knock it and don't want it or want to push it away. I just don't understand that part.
I guess it goes back to, I think I've knocked Hunter Ryan Singh on his calls in the hockey games, but one of the coolest things I ever saw was when he called a chuck wagon race.
Yeah,
in his native language, like that's a crossover where I think more of that needs to happen
for sure,
and I'd love to see more of those sort of things happen. So we need to
find. I think I think the fact of the matter is we need to lean into that more so than kind of try and get rid of it. So
anybody, I mean, people listening to this aren't gonna
disagree.
Well,
sense.
For the most part, I would imagine. But any ideas, anything we can do for reaching out, or if anybody has anybody that wants to reach out, like somebody sent us a message and asked about bull riding school, and we offered to like help them out, and then they ghosted us. But like anybody that would want to try it out, like
or even just want to go watch a rodeo or like get involved or whatever. We're open books that way. So hit us up.
What else you got, Wacey?
I think we need to touch on the fact that we are heading to Las Vegas, Nevada for the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, and for the first time ever, Cowboy Shit will be having a booth there, slinging our Cowboy Shit gear for 10-11 days. At the Rio Country Christmas.
Stetson Country
Christmas, booth 721. We'll be there. We have pretty much every single thing that we offer under the sun. We'll have some show deals. We'll be hanging out. We'll be doing some podcasts. We'll do some content. If you want to do a TikTok, come hit us up.
And just like our friend JB Mooney, we like cash. So
yeah, we do like
some
cash.
Horse trades. If you got something that you think you might want, come by. Maybe
we're open to bartering.
Yeah, we're open to bartering, open to trades.
I'm not gonna lie, I could use a pair of black boots. So if you're a boot company and you want some cowboy shit,
we'll trade you for
some boots.
Wacey, what are you, size 9?
Size 9, double E.
Yeah, So come by. We'll do some trades. Be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be sweet. I'm looking forward to it. I got one more thing, Ted. You kind of posed a question to us as we were driving down, but what's kind of a few things you're looking most forward to this year in Vegas?
Well, like we said on the top, excited about George Strait with Corb and yourself and Storm. And one of the unofficial Cowboy Shit Christmas parties for this year will be there. Maybe we'll get some food before, or some after. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's going to be fun. Going to my first UFC fight. So I'm trying to kind of like knocking off some of the big sports for the year. I think we will have gone to... We were at NBA in January.
Football.
And then we were at football. Been to a couple NFL games.
You went to an MLB game,
yeah,
too.
Major League Baseball, NHL, of course, NASCAR, and now UFC. So the only one, major one I'm missing, which is on a World Cup year, is soccer. But I don't know how interested I would be in the soccer side of things.
I'd love to go to a soccer game, but I want to go to Europe. I want to go in Europe, though.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that when we go to the Davos thing like that.
London.
It won't be that time of year. Anyways, but yeah, looking forward to all that. Looking forward to golfing down there. I'm going to go to the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame golf tournament with the Montana Silversmiths team. Really looking forward to that one. Maybe get
Ted's
another round
been
in
taking
somewhere.
lessons, so he's going to be dialed.
I'm just less shitty now at golf. Same golf coach as my brother from another mother, Cade Johansson. He took lessons from the same guy, actually.
Damn.
And he was talking to me. He's like, holy shit, you really got Ted straightened out. And Paul was like, yep, getting him in better shape.
Hell yeah, brother.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to all that. Wacey, you said we're doing most of the things you wanted to do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. My mom and dad are coming down the first weekend, so hanging out with them will be pretty cool. Obviously, George Strait, that's a bucket list thing for me, so very cool to knock that off.
It's a bucket list thing for Corb. That's what he said.
Yeah,
too.
so it's pretty cool. I'm stoked about that. I'm really excited for the booth. I think that's going to be really fun. Get to see some folks and all that kind of thing. Like we talked before, the amount of people we get to run into Vegas who we only get to see once time a year is very neat. I'm looking forward to showing Jen around Vegas. It's been a really cool year for her, being able to share all this cool stuff we get to do on this end of things. So,
are you looking forward to getting a pack of prime time?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to some
walking
degenerate shit in Vegas too. So that'll be good. But yeah, it'll be good. I'm stoked for it. See Turnpike Troubadours later in the week, which will be really cool. That been trying to get to see them for. Kind of came back.
Go to couple, maybe one or two Corb.
Go to some Corb shows. Yeah, it'll be fun, man. Get to see our buddies from Wrangler. So
yeah,
lots to look forward to, and I can't wait to see how it all goes.
It's gonna be fun. Okay, man. Well,
can't wait till this 10-hour and 38-minute drive is over.
That's just what we have left. We're almost halfway. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks to our editor, Sean Morton. Hope I don't even know who won in Dawson and Lloyd, actually. I'm sorry to...
Griffin Smeltzer.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who won Lloyd.
Somebody from Montana.
Yes. Yeah.
Forget what the name is now. But anyways, glad to see those events. 2023 season is kicked off. PBR's UTB season is kicked off as well. But, yeah, we're going to Vegas. And
Viva
we'll
Las
see you all
Vegas,
there.
baby.
Thanks to Sean, Storm on the graphics, Janie Johnson for being on the show this week, my co-host Wacey Anderson, and always thanks for listening. You can find us on the line, CowboyShit.ca, CowboyShit.USA.
If you're trying to find us in Vegas, one more thing, sorry, Ted.
Yeah.
Shoot us a message and we'll give you directions where to find us or whatever. We'll get you fixed up.
And on the online orders, we're going to ship out what we can while we're away. But if not, we'll get it sent out as soon as we get home. So
be patient, please.
Pardon?
Be patient, please.
Yeah. So thank you for everybody for understanding, but we'll talk soon. All right, thanks.
The way the grass smells at night, and you got flames all in your eyes. They reflect the sparkler, and you say we'll never die. Grab me by the hands, just as calloused as I am. Say you're proud. Well, it's blue jeans in the driveway, and you're walking inside sideways. The wine always affects you in beautiful kind ways. Ask me if I'm staying, and I say that I'm sleeping on the floor. Won't you tell me that you need me? 'Cause lately I've been needing someone to remind me, worth more than just an evening. I woke to kitchen smoke, you dancing like God's moved in you before. Well, you